All right, guys, welcome back to the final segment of this edition of the Southland Post. And of course, we've been joined with Anita Chlipala, who is the owner of Relationship Reality 312. She's also a licensed marriage and family therapist, and she's really been shedding quite a bit of light on relationships, online dating, and things like that. So we've decided to use the final segment to just talk about some general relationship tips. So Anita, take it away.
Yes, so one of the things that I would recommend most is for couples to know their 5 love languages, or even for singles looking for love. And so there are 5: quality time, physical touch, gifts, acts of service, and words of affirmation. And people can take the quiz online. You can just go to 5lovelanguages.com. But I think it's really important because it's important. Not everybody loves the same way or feels cared for the same way. And when I have couples sit on my couch in my office, and I'm like, okay, what brings you in? And they say we feel disconnected. One of the things I give them is the 5 love languages quiz, and they are opposites on their love language, or at least they have a main one that's opposite. And so knowing your partner's love language and asking, or knowing what does that look like, how can I fulfill this love language for you, and doing it on a daily basis can help a couple feel connected and can really strengthen their relationship.
Because the reality is, you're exactly right. The husband's intentions or the male's intention or purpose or method of loving may not be the woman's expectations.
Right.
So I imagine it involves quite a bit of compromise then.
Yeah, absolutely, because it may feel awkward, let's say, to do things, and maybe not even awkward, but maybe like uncomfortable. Like if you're a words of affirmation person, and let's say, that's not my way of giving you love, then complimenting you might be uncomfortable for me.
Correct.
But it's like once you get into the habit, or you develop that, skill or the mindset, then it does become easier.
Yeah, but it takes work.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Okay. What's next?
Make the little moments count. And so that one, I think sometimes couples just wait for the anniversaries or the birthdays, the kind of holidays to create these kind of big splashes, in their relationship. But really it's the little moments that count more than the big ones. And so, and the bigger celebrations will be more meaningful if you can stay connected in little ways. And so that might mean, waking up together just to talk for 15 minutes in the morning, or running errands together because that's your quality time. And really looking at these, usually what couples think is mundane things, but like looking at them as a chance to connect. Even being able to say, hey honey, did you read this article, or did you read this blog? And instead of no, or ignoring your partner, being like, yeah, tell me about it, or let me read it, and then having a conversation about it. Those are the moments that actually carry relationships together.
Can that be used for an excuse? So if I'm really on top of the little moment, but then I miss a particular day, can that roll
like
over
a special
and cover
day?
that? Yeah, of course.
But but actually, it's funny that you say that. I don't know if it's necessarily like an excuse, but I don't think it would be as painful or hurtful to the person.
Excuse, guys. Yes, no.
I just think it wouldn't be as hurtful, if you missed the special day because you've already been developing those little moments of connection the whole time.
Honestly, and I've heard, and you guys may have heard, I'm sure you've heard in your sessions, that the little moments tend to be appreciated more in some cases, just because it isn't connected to a holiday that's been commercialized. It's just a random act of kindness, a random thought.
Absolutely, but the thing is that where my couples, and usually it's by the time they see me, they, aren't, those loving feelings aren't present anymore, but they stopped doing those little things. And that's why, whether it's, knowing your partner's love language, but then other things like your partner had a bad day. So do something, out of the ordinary for them. It's still on a small scale, like their favorite chocolate bar or soda. It doesn't have to be anything big, but a lot of couples, that I see at least, or by the time they come to my, to my office, they have stopped doing that, and so that's where that disconnection kind of comes in.
Okay, all right, what's another tip?
I would say this is a big one too, to avoid fighting, is to validate each other's perspective and to compromise. And not to say like you're going to avoid fighting, because fighting is not bad. Conflict can be good and healthy and positive for a relationship. But so many times I'll have couples where they just want the other person to be wrong, and they don't bother, or they just don't get to that point of understanding the other person's perspective. They're like, or they skip that step, because they have kind of two opposing viewpoints.
Okay.
And so something that I coach my couples in is being able to recognize when, this might be something that you're never going to agree on, and it's not necessarily bad, but the attitude that you bring in, including understanding your partner's viewpoint and being willing to compromise, is super important in a relationship. And when that doesn't happen, then the fighting just starts chipping away at people's, love and positive feelings over time.
When you're in a heated, we'll call it a heated debate.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to jump into that role to say, okay, now I'm going to acknowledge your premise. I mean, that I'm sure definitely takes practice.
Yeah. But like, say, for example, a saver is married to a spender.
Okay.
So sometimes what causes the clashes is that the saver wants the spender to save more, and the spender wants the saver to, spend more. And so instead of acknowledging, okay, this is about financial security for you, or, you like to spend money because of the adventure or the experience, and then that's important, and acknowledging that the other person is never really going to change who they are, but can make behavior modifications, to create a win-win situation in the, relationship or marriage.
Okay. There are just not enough hours in a day, and certainly in this telecast, to cover all of the amazing information, the points that we talked about, even off air. We talked about creating rituals.
Yeah.
Talk about that for a little bit, creating rituals in the relationship.
Yeah, and I think rituals is also another important way that couples can stay connected in pretty simple ways. And I especially encourage my clients who have small kids or children to do this. But a ritual is something that's repeated and coordinated and has significance. So it has to have some kind of significance to the couple. Otherwise, it's just a routine.
Okay.
And so people know what is expected of them in each of these moments. And that could be something like one of my couples, they just never had any, they were too exhausted to talk to each other after the workday. Right. And so they created a tea time ritual in the morning. Okay. And so for about 20 minutes every morning, that's their time to connect and talk and just, be positive and kind of know, hey, what's your day like? It could be something like a hug and a kiss before work. Another couple friend of mine, actually, they rub noses at bedtime. So it's pretty cute. But it's just little ways that kind of, what's expected, but it's a way to connect with your partner. And it's there almost daily. It could be weekly, it could be monthly, but it's something that couples look forward to stay connected.
Guys, that is Anita Chlipala. She is educating us on a variety of facets involved in dating, online dating, rituals within a relationship. We have really enjoyed you hanging out with us today.
It's been fun.
We definitely would love for you to come back.
Sure, absolutely.
But in the meantime, why don't you let our guests and the viewers know just how they can follow you and get in touch with you and all that good stuff.
Well, my website is relationshipreality312.com, and you could definitely send me an email, anita@relationshipreality312.com. I do have a contact form on the website as well. And then please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's @AnitaOnLove. And then I also have a Facebook page with the business name, Relationship Reality 312.
Indeed. What a wonderful discussion. Thank you again so much for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You guys are watching the Southland Post. I'm Eric Booker. That is Anita Chlipala of Relationship Reality 312. Thank you guys so much for watching. Join us next time. See you soon.